Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and we're going to do a tier list here for the DDT Pro event that was last night. I watched it after the Stardom and Marigold one. This is my first ever watching of this promotion. I'd seen some clips here and there because of the crazy comedy type stuff they do here, so I thought it'd be interesting. I ended up staying way too up late watching this one because yeah, I should have probably not watched a total of 20 matches yesterday. So we're gonna jump into this one. I'm gonna be honest, just right off the bat, some of these matches are a little bit lower than what normally maybe other people would put. I'm not a huge comedy wrestling person. Like there's good spots and certain stuff that I like and certain stuff I don't like. So it probably will affect the match is a little bit. And I'm gonna be honest, I have not heard of almost half these people's names. So I'm gonna probably be a little bit harder to say some of these names because some of these are pretty foreign to me. So we're gonna start with the six-man tag match. Be honest, this one was the first ever match I saw of DDT. It was just there. I honestly didn't really get much of a feel on anything on it. I'll be just completely honest with you on it that it didn't really hold my attention. It was kind of a shorter match, but even then I didn't actually care too much about it. I think maybe watching some of these people again might be a little bit better, but I'm put it in C. Next up, we have the eight-man tag match. Now, this one was a pretty interesting start because right off the start, we had a dance number and song by one of the groups that just wearing just the most ridiculous stuff. I don't know. I guess you'd call it fashion, but I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, I like Seth Rollins gear, so I can't really complain when somebody else does this. And I didn't think it was bad. It was just wild. And that group, the one with the, I'm gonna have to say the button-up T-shirt. It's this guy right here with the bow, like the T-shirt and tie. I think he was. I actually don't know which one he was in their group because it was eight men. You obviously had like the dark, ominous group versus the fun-loving baby faces, and I honestly thought this was a pretty crazy match. The guy with the button-up shirt, like with some of the flips and crap that he was doing in the middle, I honestly think it was a good show stealing type match. Also the guy with the gold pants that was on that same team, he also had some really crazy stuff. I think that the babyface team was definitely above and beyond the other team of like at least with skill and just overall timing. It felt like so. I definitely think out of this so far was one of my more favorite matches. I'll put it in A. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Next up is the tag team title match. I had heard about this doll before and seen it before, but I never saw it in action. And it is definitely one of the weirder things that you see. But I honestly wasn't necessarily against it. I also had known Antonio Honda that was on the other side because he's in Choco Pro a lot, and I watched that fairly regularly. So at least knew him. He's a good master seller. Everybody was master selling. I mean, you were facing a doll like I don't know necessarily the kayfabe thing of it if it's like the doll's actually supposed to be alive or they actually know they're wrestling a doll or whatever it is. But man, they sold those moves great, and I think that's kind of insane to do that. I think overall, I would say I enjoyed the match. I put it in A. I don't think it was the craziest forms of wrestling, but when you think about it and see the selling that they were doing on it, I definitely think it was definitely worth that spot. And it was my favorite match, I think, of the majority of the night of just like fun and stuff, which I think is pretty much what you do when you watch this. Then we have the six-man tag team match also. I know it was like I know Chris Brooks is in it he was on the winning side. He was the only one I recognized. I know he's like part of the like Drunken Kings or was it Calamari Drunken Kings? Overall, it just it was there. Honestly, I didn't really was too invested. I knew somebody in it, so I thought I'd be a little bit more invested. But I think overall, just a solid back and forth match. I couldn't really say much else on it. Like I said, this is like my first event with them, so I think you kind of have to watch a few to probably get a feel. And if there's a niche market out there that wants to see more of it, I definitely could watch more because I enjoyed it. I think overall, I enjoyed the card. Next up, we have a singles match. It was Endo versus, I want to say Yaka or Yakya. I butcher these names no matter what. I feel like even if I put them in Google Translate, I would not remember them by the time I would record, even if it's 2 seconds later. But it was a very solid singles match. I think they had a good back and forth, good chemistry out there. Um, it was like one of those matches. If this was like the first match on the card or like one of the first two, I think it would have definitely been better suited than towards the end of the match, because it was good, but I think there was other stuff that was better that was before it. So I'll put it in B. Nothing too bad. Then we go to another tag match. It is everybody kept saying it was Uncle John, but I think it's just John and Takeshita, which I actually know and really like, so I was really happy. The main reason why I even pulled up this card and started watching it, because I saw that he was on the card, which I don't know. There's a lot of people in Japan and they do a lot of crazy wrestling, but this man is booked solid for the next like 4 days with just match after match after match. So that's kind of insane himself, because he has a match tomorrow on the same match that has AZM and Mayu in it, and then if he wins that, then he gets a match on the Wrestle Dynasty match, which is the day after that. So that's at least 3, and I'm pretty sure he's probably doing other stuff over there. So, yeah, more power to him. He did amazing in this match. It was a pretty lengthy match. They had some good back and forth. Don't know any of the other guys. They all did really good out there. Just a really good, solid match. I'm gonna put it in A tier, and not to spoil anything too much, I would put this as the best match of the entire night. Um, Still a pretty solid match in general. Next up, we have the Fatal Five Way. It was the main event. No, four. It was four. Yeah, it was four people. Um, this one was interesting. I don't know. I don't think I liked anybody's style necessarily in it. I think overall it was just a match. I think it was supposed to be bigger, and maybe I just missed it. I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy much of this match at all. So I'm gonna put it in C. I don't think it was the worst thing. Definitely not the worst match I saw out of all the matches that I saw today. But I definitely think that it was definitely not main event worthy. So I think overall, I'd probably put the card at a B. It was definitely the worst of the 3 programs that I saw, but again, it was my first time ever watching it. I think it's one of those things when you kind of get in that vibe after watching like really good match after really good match, and then you go into a thing that has some comedy and different stuff. You have that different pacing that makes it a little bit more difficult to rate when you see all these crazy cool matches compared to um, some different stuff. I think it was still pretty good. I think I probably would cash in watching another event again, but overall, I was adequately impressed by the card, so I put it in B overall. And tell me what you guys think, or if you would recommend any match or certain wrestlers to do a deeper dive into, because I know like 3 wrestlers on this entire promotion, at least from the looks out of it. So yeah, could definitely use a little bit better knowledge. And until next time, this has been Japan. Bye, guys.